tobacco cultivation in Bangladesh. Bangladesh has recently emerged as a significant producer and supplier of tobacco leaf across the world. 1. However, there has been a lack of scientific research on the nature, extent and consequences of tobacco cultivation in Bangladesh. Recent developments and government measures suggest that Bangladesh may emerge as an export-oriented tobacco cultivation hub in future. The extent of tobacco cultivation. There has been conflicting reports about the extent of tobacco cultivation in Bangladesh. As per a study by the Bangladesh Institute of Development Studies, BIDS, 2. Bangladesh is currently the 14th largest tobacco-producing country in the world in terms of total areas cultivated. The country is 12th in the world in terms of total quantity of tobacco leaves produced and accounts for 1.3% of the total tobacco production in the world. The data from Department of Agricultural Extension, DAE, officers and other sources frequently contradict when it comes to the total area used in tobacco cultivation. For example, in a report published in Bangla Tribune on the 14th of January 2019, 3. The DAE officials of Nilphamari district claimed that the tobacco cultivation, that year, decreased by 458 acres of land. In the same report, local farmers claimed that tobacco cultivation almost doubled compared to the previous year. However, there are also reports that some farmers indeed switched to alternative crops from tobacco cultivation. 4. The World Bank, in its report titled Bangladesh, Overview of Tobacco Use, Tobacco Control Legislation, and Taxation, 5, cited the statistical yearbooks of Bangladesh Bureau of Statistics and argued that the acreage devoted to tobacco growing in Bangladesh has been falling steadily for most of the past 3 decades, before rising sharply in 2010. In 2011-2014, the area was around 120,000 hectares, but then decreased to 105,000 hectares in 2017-2018. Tobacco leaf production increased from about 40,000 tons in 2000 to 2009 to about 80 to 90,000 tons in 2011 to 2018. The report also analyzed the influence of government incentive on tobacco leaf cultivation. Over recent years, however, tobacco leaf exports have grown much more rapidly. The result of a 10% incentive on exports provided by the government as part of an export diversification program begun in 2003. Much of the recent rise in the quantity of tobacco grown in Bangladesh is accounted for by these increased exports, with the share of exported tobacco rising from about 2.5% in 2000 to early 34% in 2009. In 2008, the export incentive was eliminated. In the 2010-11 budget, the government imposed a 10% duty on tobacco leaf exports in an effort to discourage tobacco growing. In 2017, the government imposed 25% export duty on tobacco, aiming to discourage their production and consumption as the items are injurious to health. However, In 2018, this export duty was reduced to 0%. Since tobacco cultivation inevitably leads to soil degradation. 6. Tobacco cultivation tends to shift from one area to another within decades. According to the study published in BIDS, British American Tobacco Company is the first company to start tobacco cultivation in Bangladesh in 1970s. Due to availability of water from Teesta River, abundant woods for tobacco curing, and fertile land, Rangpur region first emerged as tobacco hub in the country. Once the fertility of Rangpur tobacco hub started declining, tobacco cultivation was shifted to Kushta region by the companies. Though Kushta is still the largest tobacco hub of Bangladesh, followed by Lamanirat and Nilphamari, since 2000. Due to shortage of firewood, tobacco cultivation started shifting to Chittagong Hill Tract districts by the river Matamuhuri. In a study titled Factors Associated with Cultivation of Tobacco in Bangladesh, a multi-level modeling approach, published in International Journal of Environmental Research and Public Health on the 15th of June 2020, it was found that the following variables shape most farmers' decisions to cultivate tobacco: older age, less education, tobacco firms' short-term financial support of growing tobacco, greater ease of selling tobacco products at market, better access to credit, also provided by the tobacco companies.